Hi, everybody. So today it's 51 degrees outside. There's this nasty, drizzly, cold, unpleasant rain, very slow, miserable rain. And I had a really busy day at work today and I didn't get a chance to eat. So I'm exhausted, I'm stressed, I'm starving. And I'm cold. So I'm going to try and go somewhere. I'm on the hunt for a nice, cozy place that I can sit down with you guys, hopefully grab a bite to eat, and tell you about some books. Stay tuned. Hi. So I real quick just want to show you a little bit around this cute little tavern that I found. I found this back room and it's like very old-timey. There's a mirror, and then over here there's a guitar and a Johnny Cash poster, and then there's a piano. So dinner has arrived. Let me just show you real quick. I got the crackers and cheese and bread. There's some crackers and bread, cheese, there's some olives and some meats. So I'm gonna have a nice little feast while I'm talking to you. You can pardon the background noise, there are other people here, but I found a little corner where I can film. Let me tell you about my books. So this is Nonfiction November, and I wanted to talk about the industry of self-improvement and what a fantastic industry that is. The first book I want to talk about is Mindset by Dweck. If you haven't ever heard of this book, you may be living under a rock. This was a really popular book, especially among educators. And the premise of the book is, do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? And the mindset being your mentality as you approach a problem. So if you say, well, I can't do that because I'm not good at that, that would be a fixed mindset. I work with a really nice guy, and we share an office, and he's a math guy and I'm not. I'm an English person. So I had said to him one time, well, I'm really bad at math. I'm just not good at math. And he said, yet. And he always says that, yet. And that would be a prime example of a growth mindset. I'm not very experienced with math. I need to learn about math, but I can do it and I will do it. So that's the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And obviously people with growth mindsets tend to be much more successful and experience more personal and worldly success. Another thing I found, because I read this book, and what I found interesting in it as a mom was that the book talks about how you should never tell your child, well, you're smart, or well, you're good at that, because it actually sets the person up for failure. Because what happens to them when they're always told, you're smart, you're good at whatever, and then they're in a situation where they're not, it's a new experience and they don't feel a natural inclination, or they just don't meet the level of success that they're, used to experiencing, then they can shut down. And I will say I've seen that in my own son. Like if he's really good at certain things and he loves them, but if it's something that he doesn't like or he's not experienced with, he will say, that's not my thing, I'm not good at that, I don't want to bother. And that would be an example of a fixed mindset. And so Dweck's book talks about, not just the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, but how you can cultivate a growth mindset in yourself and in others. Okay, moving on, I want to talk about, briefly, I'll talk about David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. So that's also a very famous book. Malcolm Gladwell also wrote The Outliers. And David and Goliath is basically the psychology behind winning and how, people who seem to be the underdog can win. And it has a lot of anecdotes about people who thought they were the underdog and then they managed to find victory. And it talks a lot about how, you can find success regardless of your position in a situation, and how to do that. I may not be explaining it very well, but David and Goliath, about how to achieve victory for the underdog. And my favorite of the three, which it's not a real cheerful, exciting, wonderful book, but a book that I highly recommend, especially as a YouTuber who's getting, sucked into the social media vortex, The Happiness Effect. So The Happiness Effect, I loved this book. And The Happiness Effect talks about how people work so hard to appear happy on social media that they're actually robbing themselves of happiness. And I think about that all the time. I personally don't even have a Facebook account. If somebody told me 5 years ago, you're going to be a YouTuber, I would have laughed, because I'm not big on social media. I'm thinking about getting maybe Twitter or something. But just to promote my channel, I don't know. Really, it's just a YouTube channel I created for students. But this Happiness Effect, the author researched all sorts of people, specifically college students, and surveyed them and found all kinds of really fascinating data. And she talks in her book about, for example, college students who, I remember one anecdote, they went to opening day to see baseball, and they were so excited to have the perfect pictures and to appear to be having the perfect time for Facebook that they didn't even get to see the game. They were just so busy in creating this image of happiness that they didn't actually experience happiness, at least not the way that the Facebook imagery would present. It would present this fantastic time at a sporting event when in actuality they were just spending the whole time focused on making pictures for Facebook. And if you think about it, really, I don't have Facebook, so I don't know. But if you think about the images that people portray on Facebook, I mean, I'm not going to put a picture of myself on YouTube first thing in the morning, no makeup, or a picture of myself having a bad day. Although today I did start off saying I'm looking for a way to cheer myself up. But most of us want to be presented in the best possible light. And that's what The Happiness Effect is about. It's about how people work so hard to present a certain persona on the internet that it robs them of their actual real identity and their real, true personal happiness. So I definitely liked The Happiness Effect the best of the three. David and Goliath is a great book about, how to get ahead, even if you're the underdog, because you can. And Mindset by Dweck. Even if you've never read the book, you probably have heard something about growth mindset, fixed mindset, and that's explained in this book. So those are my three industry books for Nonfiction November. I hope that you will look into them yourselves, and I hope that you are reading all kinds of nonfiction, and I can't wait to hear about it. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. I feel so much better. Had a wonderful, wonderful time, wonderful meal. One more thing I wanted to share with you. We don't have to wear masks anymore right now where I'm living, but I did bring one just in case, because sometimes businesses prefer that you wear a mask even though the state doesn't require you to wear a mask. And I wanted to show you my mask. This will post in November, but it's the last week of October that I'm filming. And I made a mask where I bought a little cotton mask. It's like a Hanes cotton mask. And I bought a bunch of decals, and I ironed on some Halloween decals on my masks. And I just thought that was fun. So anyway, that's it, YouTube. Just wanted to say hello and share what I'm reading. I hope you're having a fantastic Nonfiction November.